Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay. Monday. Trump and his lawyers have to meet with Judge Engoron to discuss what's going on with that $175 million bond. Letitia James filed her paperwork on Friday, basically asking that the courts overturn and disqualify the bond that Trump came up with. I may not have the terminology correct, but that's the gist of it. Opposition. It says Letitia James on Friday filed a memorandum of opposition to the surety company. Says it's concerned the financials of the bondholder, Knight Specialty Insurance Company, and the collateral of the bond. Basically, one of the problems is that they're using a Schwab account to hold the money, but Trump has access to that Schwab account, so he can exercise trades on it. So it's really not a secured account. If it was under Knight's name, then Knight has control over it, but it's under Trump's name, and Knight gets notifications when Trump wants to do stuff with that account, and they have 48 hours to approve or deny. That's not the way the game is played. And Letitia James is pointing that out. Not to mention that Knight doesn't have... New York has a rule saying you can't put more than 10% of your capital at risk, and that would mean that Knight could put up $13.8 million of that $175 million bond. They are woefully underfinanced for that. So, what's the energy around the court on Monday when this case comes up? Entertainment purposes only. Come on down. Let's see what Letitia James, Judge Engoron, and this bond. What happens when they intersect things? The signifying card is the four of coins. The restriction on the money, the lack of money, the lack of, Trump's not liquid in this. Knight Specialties doesn't have control over the money, and Knight Specialty doesn't have enough money to cover all this. This is just lack of money, lack of money, lack of money. I will digress. The courts have gone out of their way to be accommodating to Trump. They have gone out of their way to be accommodating to the point where they've slashed his bond from $450 million to $175 million. They let him put up this company that, they're not meeting any of the rules that are required, and they're trying to say, well, since we're not in New York, we're not bound by your rules. But at some point, somebody has to say, when you're accommodating the former president, and you need to follow the rules, somewhere that needs to happen. And I think that somewhere is going to be this one. Former president or not, you could still use a bond company that can meet the requirements of the court. Period. Crossed with the disappointment. Yeah, they keep giving Trump chances, and he keeps not following the rules. I think they're going to overturn this bond. Yeah, get ready. You've got 7 days, apparently, is what Letitia James is asking the court. Give him 7 more days to come up with a different bond. Now, why he gets 7 days, I don't know. That feeds again right into the Trump delay. And now he's delaying the posting of the bond that prevents the seizure of his assets while he attempts to appeal this case. To me, he didn't play the game by the rules. Too bad. So sad. You better get your button gear if you want to prevent Letitia James from raiding all your bank accounts and putting up a close sign on some of your properties. Just saying. But that's David personally, who's upset about all the delays and stuff like that. In the past, we got the Page of Wands. Hey, bro, do me a favor. Could you? I know you're not really an insurance company. You've never done this before, nor in New York. But hey, could you come in with $175 million? Yeah, this is just. When I did a reading on this before, the thing I came away with was this was a bad idea for the Knight Specialty Insurance Company, because now you got the feds sniffing around your company, and they're going to start finding the shenanigans that you're doing, and that's already started. If I were members of the board and this guy did this, and now we've got the feds snooping around, I would not be happy with the decision of Mr. Hankey. I might be telling him, "Barty ho!" Current situation is the Knight of Pentacles. This hearing, again, they gave him time to find it. He said he couldn't find anything. He found an insurance company that said they would deliver the money. But, yeah, this insurance company doesn't, it's not doing it. It's not proper. Overarching energy is the World card. I don't know if Trump's gotten money in from other countries to help him out with this. I don't know if money was supposed to come in from tonight, Specialty Insurance. Oh, and it also seems to me that Knight Specialty Insurance had offshore bank accounts like in the Seychelles or the Cayman Islands or stuff like that. You know, that goes back to the Fed starting to poke around and looking at the companies and stuff like that. Yeah, there's shenanigans worldwide shenanigans going on. I think the judge also might be bringing this whole process to an end at this point. Yeah, it's like your bond got reduced. You're trying these juggling shenanigans. We're done. Ms. Engoron's going to say, "We are done, Mr. Trump. You need to come up with the money, and you've got a finite time to come up with it. Not an infinite time like this little band here. You've got a finite time." And Trump doesn't have the money. He can't. I don't know why he can't source it. I mean, he said he had $500 million ready to go. I mean, that's clearly not true. And if he did, if he wasn't lying about that, then why not use that money? What else have you earmarked it for that you can't use it? Not to mention, you still have to get everything past Barbara Jones, who's overseeing the business. There's probably a way that they were trying to take money from around the world to funnel it into his accounts, but they can't get it done. Probably because everything used to go through the business, entertainment purposes only, but they can't figure out a way to get it done. They've run out of time. I don't think... okay, first off, I think Judge Engoron's going to say, yeah, no to these bond shenanigans here. You're going to have to come up with the cash, even the reduced cash. I don't know if he can rate. It should cost more money, obviously, because of the interest that's gone on. But yeah, the energy around this is that Trump doesn't know where the money's going to come from. And the other thing is that Letitia James is sure as heck looking to see where this money is coming from. And I think that's complicating things with Trump. If he had money hidden offshore, he can't get to it easily without risking exposure to, where did this windfall come from? Because, and again, Barbara Jones is overseeing his businesses, and it seems like his businesses are the funnel that everything goes through. That's how he would try and limit his tax liabilities and, hide or launder money, entertainment purposes only, that sort of thing. And with her sitting there watching over it, they're out of their depth. They don't know how to get around her. Okay, so what's going to happen with this bond? What's going to happen with this bond and stuff going forward? Will they get 7 days? Will they make that 7 days? What do we got? King of Cups. Engoron's going to rule on this. He's going to say your time's up. Your time's up. You've run out of time. That doesn't mean he's not going to give him the 7 days that Letitia James was asking for, but his time's up for this bond. The ridiculousness is over. You're supposed to be this wealthy man, and you keep doing shenanigans. In the past, the Ten of Cups, they've tried to accommodate him as best they could. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. They've tried to accommodate him. Trump says he found these things, but, his pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is fool's gold. Because everything everything Trump touches dies. You can't treat him like a normal person. He's not the man and the wife and the happy kids dancing around. That's just not what his life is. Yeah, justice is. They've given him all these chances. Justice is here now. Forget it. They're done fooling around with this guy. They are done fooling around. They're gonna hold him. They're gonna hold him to the deadline. Whatever deadline they give him, they are holding him fast to that. There's no. If he comes up with another fake bond, it's like Letitia James will be allowed to see stuff. He may lose his ability to put up that bond. I don't know if he can order that. I don't know if that's legal. But if it is, he could threaten to say, "Forget it. You don't get to put up a bond for the appeal because you keep cheating the system. You've run out of do-overs, as it were." This is going to be really hard. This is going to be a hard. Trump's made things really difficult on himself because he just can't play fair. He can't play by the rules. Outcome is the Six of Swords. Yeah, if Trump's going to put up that bond, it's like he has to go across waters to get it. I'm not confident he's going to get it. I am not confident he's going to get it. I'm not confident that he's not going to get it. Double negatives. The Six of Swords. It's getting out of troubled waters, going to calmer shores, completing the journey. We'll throw a little bit more on that one. Again, we got the King of Coins underneath it. No, Trump's supposed to be the one with this money. Trump's the one that can make his life easy. Trump is making his life difficult. And the judge is over it. He's just over it. Okay, so let's go a different route. Say in 2 weeks' time, what are we going to be? It'll be the first week in May. Will Trump be able to put together this bond by the first week in May? No, that's beyond 7 days. That's like 14 days. Will Trump be able to get this bond put together and halt the seizure of his properties? That would just be... That will add a lot of stress to him if Letitia James is suddenly taking his properties while he's in the New York criminal case and can't, be out there screaming. He has to yell about several things at the same time. Oh, jeez. This guy's life's a mess right now. Ace of Wands. That's a yes. That's a strong yes. Will she be able to take his stuff after 14 days? It sure looks like it. Making plans for it. I told you that the last time before he put up this fake bond that if the bond went active 9 o'clock Monday morning at 9:03, she was going to be putting a padlock on Trump Tower. Now, as many pointed out, Trump Tower is not the best example, but it's more the metaphor for you. There were other things that she was looking at that she could lock down. In the past justice card, yeah, there's going to be that ruling that's going to allow her to do this. Death card, the deadline passes. The deadline is there. If Trump comes up with the money, he can stop this, but it doesn't look like he's coming up with the money. Well, this could be he comes up with the money at the 11th hour, or more to the point with me, this is him just crying poor mouse. I just can't raise the money. It's just not possible. Could you lower the bond a little bit more? Yeah, the world card. And I think he's trying to go outside the U.S., trying to basically beg Saudi Arabia, Israel, whoever he can for money to help him with this. It's just too much money. He doesn't have enough things of value and not enough favors to get the money. They're not answering his calls. Outcome is the Two of Coins. that juggling again. It's like he's run out of time. Yeah, I think he's going to ask for another delay. I don't know if it's like he tries to file another appeal to the appeals court. He wants things reduced even more. He's just trying to do shenanigans to delay things because he can't raise the money, and he runs out of time with not enough money. He just runs out of time. Maybe she starts seizing stuff, and he finally gets enough money to stop the seizure. But once seized, it's seized. It's not going back. I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure how that works. I've never had property seized. I have this nasty habit of paying my bills and, not defrauding the government or defaming people. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? They were using a different signature page. I don't know if that signature page was a photocopy of the pre-signed one or if it was a blank one that they used. But, oh, Lord, it's just shenanigans. Okay. Now, just sort of, I want to look at, I was talking about Trump with this $175 million bond. And think of it, if Letitia James starts taking his properties while he's in criminal court, and you can't go out running out there to scream stop and lay in front of the moving vans, that are pulling his stuff out of his apartment or something along those lines, because he's stuck in court all day, hearing testimony from the prosecutors about what a wretched person he is and all the horrible things he does to women. And he's going to be hearing from Stormy Daniels, Stephanie Clifford. And he's going to be hearing from Karen McDougal. And he's going to be hearing from Michael Cohen. So you have all these people just spilling all his ugliness out there. And meanwhile, Letitia James is collecting his stuff. Putting the Denver boot on his 757. Just he can't be in all these places at the same time. That's got to be driving him absolutely bananas because he's lost control of the narrative and he's lost physical control of the things being taken away. He's like a 3-year-old having a tantrum, and he can't. He's locked in his room, and you can see people taking his toys and putting his toys in a timeout, in a way where he can't play with them, taking his stuff away. And he's just going to absolutely rage, and that's going to bring his blood pressure up and all that anger he's going to have. How is that going to impact his health? Let's take a look. 6 of Wands. He's going to want attention. He's going to be lashing out about how unfair this is. All these victories that everybody else is taking, they're unfair victories. They're cheaters. They're cheating him out of his victories. And this is supposed to be a leader, but he's not a leader. People are starting to understand that this guy's never been a leader. He's not who he says he was. He's a false leader. Page of Wands. And again, I think it's the action. This could also be just the victory in court cases. Page of Wands here. What's underneath? 2 of Pentacles. Maybe he finally gets his stuff, but it's late. How's he feeling about this? He knows he needs to win these court cases. He needs to be elected. He's having a hard time losing this God complex that he can just defeat anything. He wants his followers. Here we go. He's trying to lead, and he's trying to get his followers to be active. He keeps telling people to show up to the court and protest and be wild because he's losing his power. He's losing his control, and his self-worth is equal to his net worth, and his net worth is decreasing. His self-worth is decreasing, and his health is declining because of it. He wants his followers out there. They're not out there. They're not there supporting him. In the past, the high priestess, he made a foolish mistake when he didn't bail out Michael Cohen. He made another foolish mistake when he didn't bail out all the January 6th insurrectionists. He's lost the guys, these young people that would take a bullet for their dear leader. He's lost those people. And he needs those people if he's going to try and get out of this mess. Another major arcana, the Hermit card. As more and more is exposed about Donald Trump, the more likely he is to start retreating, moving away. Folks noted that he pays attention and glowers when people say negative things about him. And he starts falling asleep when he's hearing things he doesn't want to hear, kind of as a shutdown mechanism. And I was saying, he's going into the antechamber of his brain, which is where you would go before, like if you had a stroke and you're fully into your brain. It's starting that retreating process. He's retreating. The judges they're having none of his nonsense. Judge Engoron is not having his nonsense. Judge Mershon is not having his nonsense. No outbursts. You're a grown-ass adult. You're 77 years old, going on 78. Control yourself, Mr. Trump. And they ain't fooling around. No, neither. Again, this is asking how Donald Trump's feeling like that. Overarching energy. I think he's going to start losing more control of his emotions. He's the emperor with no clothes. He's more and more exposed by all of this. Folks aren't showing up. He's hearing bad things. The women that he's hurt and Michael Cohen sharing facts. All this is shining a light on who he is. And the more you shine the light on him, the more you don't see the old powerful man in charge. You see the immature child that's hiding here. The emperor has no clothes, and he's being exposed. And he's going to have an emotional meltdown. His emotions are going to be frayed. He's going to have more outbursts. I'm sure that the interviews outside the courtroom are going to be raging. Absolute raging. As his money and his things of value are taken away from him, he is going to absolutely rage. I'm not seeing the dire health consequences from this, but believe me, I think all of this is leading him down that path, down that downward spiral of a health issue that's going to be coming up. Okay. Anything else you can tell me about, Spirit? We'll close this one out with a four-parter. Anything else you want to share with regards to Donald Trump and this bond and having his assets potentially seized while being in criminal court, hearing unflattering things about his conduct? Somebody was telling me that his lawyers gave him like a bunch of press clippings and pictures that he could look through of all like his highlights. So when people are talking about his lowlights and what a terrible person he is, he can just ignore them and look at his highlights and just live in his little fantasy world. Placating a small child, giving him a sucker so that they're not paying attention to the stuff that's going outside. What else can you share with us? Last thing here regarding Trump and his assets in these trials. He's under a lot of stress. He is under so much stress, and he doesn't know a way out of this. He is seriously concerned about being incarcerated, going to prison. He is totally being exposed. And not only does he long for the good old days, he might be regressing. He's looking for anybody to help him. And not just financially, but emotionally. He needs emotional help. He's like a little child. The more it gets harder and harder as more things get exposed. It's just, yeah. And there's that Six of Swords again. Just like on the earlier reading. It's like his intellect is starting to deteriorate. Think of Swords' intellect, and it's going away. It's going from the choppiness to calmer waters. There's going to be a calmer intellect there. And by calmer intellect, I don't mean that he's going to suddenly become intelligent. I mean, like, his thoughts are going to really simplify. Like, he doesn't have the energy for complex thoughts. He only has the energy for simple thoughts, like you would expect out of a 2 or 3 year old. You know, just everything simplifies to calm down. Yeah, he's if he was going to have a stroke, these are the events prior to it that would seem to potentially precipitate something like that. Again, entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor. I don't roleplay one of my D&D group, and I'm just some random dude reading tarot cards on the internet. But we will leave it here. There'll be more to read as the weeks wear on. Thank you very much for watching these videos and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your kind words, likes, shares, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.